Well, thank you very much. We so very much appreciate you being here. Wanted to say first and foremost, a big thank you to Erhan and Zia for putting this on. They're really the unsung heroes for this event. A round of applause, I think, is in order for them. Thank you so very much for making this happen. My name is Blake Kuhre. I really appreciate you being here for this. We're going to talk a little bit about why influencers are what you know today, weren't what they were before, and now they're going to be something completely different. And we can thank Web3 for all of that. So before we get into it, I'm originally from Texas, live in Los Angeles, California. I moved out there about 14 years ago with the Walt Disney Company. So that's my career. That's where I started, with Mickey Mouse, as it were. And that's actually where I learned how influencers came about. We all know the iPhone came out in 2007. It wasn't that long ago. So before the influencer was even an influencer, they were sort of incubated and created in a machine, and a lot of different kinds of machines in the entertainment industry, one of them, of course, being Disney. So what I did there was incubate a lot of these stars, from Miley Cyrus to Selena Gomez, Jonas Brothers. They were nobodies, and we made them into somebodies. And we did it through the typical way of, legacy media, which would be TV, radio. That's what existed really then. It still does today, but it's not nearly as popular as we're doing it now through obvious forms like TikTok. So that's really a bit about me. Then I went to China after that, and I learned all about how they do things there, and it's quite revolutionary, as we see today. ByteDance, as you know, is the parent company of TikTok. So this is now shorter attention spans. It's a more democratized way of becoming an influencer, as it were. And that's enough about me. I want to introduce you to now Yorgos Papadopoulos.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you for having us. My name is Yorgos Papadopoulos. I'm from Washington, D.C. originally, and I'm out in Los Angeles with Blake as well. My background was I started in working with startups actually during law school in our venture finance clinic, at the same time as being a financial integrity fellow, where I had the opportunity to work with founders, and I fell in love with building. From there, I also I worked at a law firm and then moved to China as well, where I lived in Shanghai for 3.5 years, again working with startups. I had the opportunity to advise and be a core part of the team for Ask Jerry for the Pernod Ricard X-Note Startup Accelerator Challenge, where we won first place, and that kind of got me hooked. From there, I also advised a number of companies, including most recently Sinky from the UK. I met them out in England, and they also recently won first place at the Antler Startup Competition. So had a lot of experience with that, a lot of experience with founders, building, growing, and absolutely love it. And had the opportunity as well to get involved with Blake in Web3 and blockchain. About 3 or 4 years ago, I'd started trying to do an NFT agency, so got really involved in the space, really fell in love with the space. Things didn't work out, but I got a second chance when I met Blake, and and Swim, with everything they were doing, that Blake will speak more to soon. But excited to be here and excited to take another stab at it.
Thank you, Yorgos. So where did it all begin for us? Really, what put us on the map was about 1 year ago, and you'll see a little bit more about that right now. It was the My Pet Hooligan franchise that really put Swim on the map about a year ago. And it was something that, at that moment, we didn't know it would be successful. What we did is we partnered with an animation studio based out of Burbank, California. They actually have a massive facility right outside the airport there. So about every 10 minutes, you'd have to stop talking and wait for the planes to fly over, and then you could resume filming. But you can imagine just the space that you could see there, the motion capture studio. You might have seen this before. It was quite a big operation. But what was interesting about it, and what we learned through this process in doing the smart contract layer, essentially for this entire project, was that it ended up becoming one of the fastest, highest grossing debuts last year, as you can see right there, right behind Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks. So it was something that we recognized, this is an original IP franchise. It was created through motion capture. It was created through essentially a stage and animators, a team of more than 30 people, but big overhead, lots of time, lots of rendering, and from a year on, we've learned a lot. And I think that's what really makes us it be in a very fortunate opportunity today, because this new concept of an influencer, in this case, the entire My Pet Hooligan franchise of 8,888 different rabbits, they themselves became influencers, if you can believe that. Obviously through Discord community, through the types of outreach that was happening, it was becoming more and more of a phenomenon. But we recognized at that moment, this can be even bigger than we imagined it could be, but in a much more lean and obviously comprehensive way to do it, but you would never know how simple it can be until now.
So here we are today. People are ready for something new. We're living at the intersection of art, technology, and entertainment. Our attention spans are shorter than ever, and essentially people are bored of consuming media and entertainment in the traditional methods. People are disillusioned with traditional marketing, and this can be seen with the increasing importance of live streaming and influencer marketing. So as Blake just touched on with our experience with My Pet Hooligan, about a year ago, we truly started seeing the impact of IP franchises through virtual characters created out of thin air. Our experience was absolutely eye-opening. We learned that audiences don't care. They don't care if you're a bunny. They don't care if you're a dog. They don't care if you're an alien. They don't care if you're a person. They just want to be engaged, entertained, and they want to be inspired. They want to feel connected to the communities, and they want to feel connected to the brand values, and they want to feel connected to whatever entity is representing those. They're looking for something more.
So take, for example, this particular influencer. She doesn't even exist in real life. She's completely created. Yet, she has 3 million followers on Instagram. Her name is Little Michaela. You can look her up right now and see for yourself. Essentially, this is a great example of someone that was created out of thin air. And she's a personality, she's a brand. You don't have to worry about, does she require overtime, healthcare, does she need vacation, does she need a pay raise, does she have a contract that's coming up for renewal? None of those things even matter because she's not a real person. But to Yorgos' point and what we're trying to demonstrate today is that it doesn't matter to the audience because they want to get behind something that they can identify with and something that is personable and something that means a lot to them. And that's really where we're headed next. And we see this not just in this case with Little Michaela, but also you're starting to see this across many different industries and not just entertainment. The next one being, we believe, is fashion. And you probably are familiar with that. You can see it with some of these brands, but you'd be surprised. Balmain, for example, a very famous brand, had these 3 models created, and most of the audience had no idea that they didn't even exist in real life. But they don't care because at the end of the day, they're showing off some incredible types of fashion that doesn't even exist yet in the real world.